We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. They're on the 24-yard line.
Backman. 180. Double. Here, shoot. Mike 40. Danny.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Trey 15.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Hey, wahoo!
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And he's got room. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Check, he's coming. Blue Dan. Hey, kill. Hey, Ford, kill. Check Mike 40.
Now Wentz on third down. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on fourth. They're going to try a second time. Wentz to throw for it on fourth. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. Cousins gives way to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 95 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Wentz will try again on second down. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Let's put him on the buses. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 66 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
He's checking, he's checking. Gun. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
On second and a long way to go. Cousins. It got his man complete. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 46 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Cousins trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. The 20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Cousins. Flush to his right. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
On first down, Wentz. Throwing right, and that's complete. That's good for 28 yards. Wentz now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Sunday. 40. You must be dreaming.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's got it. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second and goal, Wentz. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Linval Joseph, his second sack of the night. Wentz now on third and goal. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
So many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
Yep, as a result, knocks it down. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Here we go. Mooney! Check, watch it. Bunch. I'm going to come back to you. Sunday. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Time to go, night.
Wentz now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like. But bottom line is, Dallas or Philadelphia's got to win the NFC East. And I don't know that anyone wants to go to their home field and play when they have to play in a divisional game. So when you get it all together, and maybe that would be a wild card, I would guess, because they'd be the fourth team in. But when you put it all together, it is absolutely wide open about who wins the NFC and represents for the Lombardi Trophy.
Cousins on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, Charles, while we have a second, we talked about the NFC playoff picture, but I wanted to get your thoughts on a hot topic right now in NFL circles. That's awarding a home game to every division winner, regardless of record. It's happened twice in this decade that we've seen a 7-9 team in Seattle get a home game and a 7-8-1 Carolina team get one. Where do you stand on this? Because there's a scenario where you could have a 13-win team from the NFC West traveling to face an 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. Third and long for Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half, Cousins. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 66 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Fielded about a yard deep. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. To throw again on second down. Cousins, he's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Straight 15, straight 15. Three, kill. Hey, check. 3 now. Bravo. Bring it to you.
On second and a couple. Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. On third down, they turn to Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Going to throw right side here, complete. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Wentz now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On play action, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Alpha.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ward. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
You go tight. You got tight right there. Let's go. Great. Tighten up. Under 10.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz at 0. Now the ball comes loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
There for the sack, Everson Griffin. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Ready?
They start the drive with Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Jahan, 180. Mike, 47. Black. 47's the mic. Hey, flicker. Gun. Check 24.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now here is another interception.